This is gonna be a lot, okay? Just hang in there. It's gonna make sense. Hello everyone. Today I'm really excited to share information about signs and synchronicities. A lot of us don't realize that we are being guided through signs and synchronicities every single day, and that the universe, God, creator, source, loving awareness, whatever you want to call it, is always talking to you, literally all day long, telling you what you should do next, what the right move is, guiding you, leaving you the next breadcrumb in your life. But most people don't have the awareness to see that, and something kind of needs to open you up to that. So I'm hoping that this video will open you up to seeing and receiving the signs and the synchronicities and starting to find meaning in them and see the guidance in them. I am going to share a story. This just happened to me within the last week, and I'm gonna share how these signs led me to exactly what I was supposed to do. Some of you are gonna be just like, this woman is insane. This doesn't make any sense. I was always looking for like a guide. I always wanted to find a guru that was going to guide me to enlightenment. I could never find this person. I even moved to Maui hoping that I would find somebody to guide me, and it just didn't happen. And then one day I had this dream. In the dream, I found Merlin's house, and I knew that I had finally found my teacher. I don't have that many dreams, and I can honestly feel the difference between when my dreams mean something and when they don't. And this dream was very significant. There was this feeling to it. So I knew, okay, like I'm ready. You know, my teacher is coming, the lessons are coming. I didn't realize that the universe was going to be guiding me every step of the way and bringing me and teaching me everything that I needed to know. So I would bump into the right people and learn some new information that I needed to learn. I would be gifted the right books that I needed to know about. The right videos would pop up. Dr. Joe Dispenza's book, Becoming Supernatural, popped up. Things would just come into my field on their own, and I would know, okay, this is the next step. This is the next breadcrumb. Let me read this. Let me learn this. Throughout learning how to read signs and paying attention to synchronicities, I have learned that my car has always represented my physical body and its well-being. Anytime my maybe check engine light has ever come on, I needed an oil change, I would always not be okay. I feel like I normally am a very peaceful person. Like I don't have much anxiety or stress in general, but anytime I've like gotten a thorn in my tire, a flat tire, anything like that, it was always at a really bad time in my life. Like something was going on that was stressing me out, and I was not taking care of myself or handling it the way that I should have been doing. I wasn't tuning into myself. Like I was just stressing myself out and not really finding the solution or learning the lesson that was trying to come to me. When I first moved to Maui, I had this expedition, and it was older. I was kind of starting to break down. And during that time, I had a spontaneous Kundalini awakening, and I kind of got this like huge energy upgrade. And after the energy went through my body, I felt different. I used to constantly like feel this need to cry every day, but I never knew what I was crying about. So I had this Kundalini awakening, and all of a sudden I felt way more whole. Like it felt like something in my heart, like a missing piece, was a lot fuller, and I stopped crying every day. My consciousness had been upgraded. I felt way more connected to the earth, to plants, to other beings. I started accepting the fact that I was on earth, because like I used to like hate being here. I did not want to be here at all. I would start falling asleep and constantly start astral projecting, but not wanting that at all. My soul did not want to be in my body. It was constantly like in and out, and I could feel it. Even when I was driving, I could feel my body kind of like shake, and I would feel a part of me just wasn't in my body, because I really was not down with earth for a really long time. So after this upgrade, I started loving the earth. I started seeing the beauty in the earth. I started connecting more with plants and animals. And a few months later, like about 3 or 4 months later, my expedition broke down and I needed to get a new car. So I was like, okay, what car should I get, universe? I started seeing all of these Honda Accords. I'd I didn't choose the car. I let the universe, the divine, guide me. And I said, hello, what should I get? I don't want to do the research. Like, you let me know what is going to be best for me because you know more than I do. At the time, I didn't think much of it. I was like, okay, I have a new car. Cool. I didn't know that that was connected to my level of consciousness or awareness and what I had healed within myself. And then that's when I just started noticing after I got that car that anytime something happened within me that was like, I was super stressed or just going down a path and not snapping out of it and like seeing the light, something would happen with my car and it would be like, hello, woman, wake up, like check in with yourself. I had that same car until last week. So last week, I am sitting around on the phone with my friend and I see this symbol called the fleur-de-lis. Now, I found out about the fleur-de-lis in the beginning of September 2021. There's a group that you can join on Facebook only after you attend a week-long advanced retreat that Dr. Joe Dispenza puts on. And I was part of this group and I saw a post about the fleur-de-lis and other dimensions. I just like read it and I was like, what is the fleur-de-lis? I looked it up, I saw the symbol. I have been doing the Dr. Joe Dispenza meditations for about 3 months at that time. Things in my life at that time started shifting dramatically. And it felt like I kept saying, I'm in another dimension. Like all of this that's happening is not possible, okay? Literally, if I had gone and told myself months prior that that would happen, I would have never believed it. That's how impossible it felt. That I literally kept saying, I feel like I'm in a different dimension. Like something happened, I'm in a different dimension. This is crazy. So I'm in the shower and I notice the fleur-de-lis is on 3 tiles in the shower that I'm in. And I was like, oh my God, this is that symbol that I saw in that Facebook chat in the Joe Dispenza group. And then I was like, what does this mean again? I need to find out. So I go back to the Facebook group, I type it in so that it automatically searches. And I find a video of Dr. Joe Dispenza talking about it. He had this thing where he was having everybody meditate for 30 days and he was saying, put the symbol of the fleur-de-lis into your centers when you're blessing your energy centers into your field. It's the doorway to other dimensions. So I was just like, oh my God, I've literally been saying that I'm in a different dimension. And I'm like, this is the first time I've ever seen the fleur-de-lis or noticed the fleur-de-lis, and here it is. I somehow left my old timeline and I'm in a new timeline and people are behaving differently that I would have never expected to behave differently in that other timeline. I'm feeling different and I'm starting to tap into these feelings that I never knew existed through my meditations. So I was just blown away by that. A few months later, so that was September 2021. Now it is March. I think it's March 29th today. I saw the fleur-de-lis last week. I didn't know that the fleur-de-lis, it's on my carpet, the rug in front of my front door for the past 15 years. I have never noticed it. Last week I was on the phone with my friend and I start looking down and I was like, oh my gosh, the fleur-de-lis. And then I realized, oh my God, the fleur-de-lis, this means something crazy is about to happen. My life is gonna start shifting. I've entered a new dimension. And then I got really excited because I was like, ooh, what is it? What's gonna happen? Because the first time was absolutely amazing and just wonderful and blew my mind. Like I couldn't believe it. So I go get the mail later that day and I see that I got a letter from Honda and they're offering me a pretty high amount for my car. And I realized, and I got this like feeling when I opened up the letter and I was like, oh, you're supposed to go to this. And then I was like, oh my God, the universe is giving me a new car. If I'm getting a new car, that means I've reached a point where I've meditated so much and released so much that I'm getting a new body. And then I felt really proud of myself. And I was like, yay, I'm getting an upgrade. You know, I don't know what my car is gonna be. I don't know what the universe has planned for me, but let me follow the next breadcrumb. Let me follow the next step. Like I got this letter from Honda and I had this like feeling when I read it that I was supposed to go. So I went with it. I go to Honda. I don't know car dealerships, okay? I don't know anything about cars. I knew I wasn't gonna make any moves that day. because I didn't know what I was doing, to be honest. So of course I go, they try to lowball me, then I'm like, no, and then they give me this higher price. For some reason, I decide, okay, like, let me take a picture of this paper, because he wouldn't give me the paper. And I just like took a picture of the paper where it showed how much they offered me for my car, but they were only gonna offer me that much if I bought a vehicle from them. So if I did a trade-in. This is gonna be a lot, okay? Just hang in there. It's gonna make sense. So CarMax was across the street, and I decided, let me go there and see how much they would give me for my vehicle. I got my car appraised, and then I saw the number they gave me, and it was kind of like around the same number that Honda gave me. So I was like, okay. I walked around the lot to look at cars, and I was like, okay, you know, my intuition, or I'm gonna get some sort of sign to know which one it is. I didn't. I drove home, and I was like, okay, like, let's just see what unfolds. I asked the universe, what kind of car am I getting? Is it like a luxury car? And I asked, let me see 333 if it's a luxury car. If it's like a Honda or something, show me a 444. So immediately I see a 333, and I'm like, oh, I'm getting a luxury car. Okay, I'm not gonna say no to what you have planned for me. So now I'm like, oh, luxury car. I'm kind of like looking at CarMax, looking at all kinds of places. It was a little bit exhausting, but I was like, let me look. Like, I don't want to just go in there and not understand anything. And then it hit me that one of my friends had me pick him up from CarMax 2 weeks prior, and I hadn't talked to him in like 8 months, but I just happened to be free, and it was a CarMax in another location. So my friend and I, the following day, we go to this other CarMax, and I find a car that I like. So I go inside, talk to one of the salespeople, and she doesn't really know much about the car, because CarMax sells all kinds of cars. She also said, oh, somebody's coming in at 5 p.m. to buy this car anyways. So I took that as a sign, like, okay, I'm not gonna, like, that's not the car, first of all. And maybe I need to go somewhere else that's more knowledgeable about this brand of car. So my friend literally goes, maybe we should just go to Mercedes, it's across the street. Like, they'll know more about their cars than CarMax does. So we go across the street to Mercedes, and as soon as we get there, I see a car with a bunch of 8s on the license plate. And every single time I see a bunch of 8s, it means abundance. It means I'm about to receive something, a gift from somebody, a gift from the universe, something big, some money, like a great present. Honestly, I started seeing 8s a week prior as well. So I'm like, ooh, universe, what do you have up your sleeve for me? You know, oh my gosh, another gift? Of course, I totally accept. I'm not gonna say no. And then we make a left to go park in the spot, and I see another vehicle that says 7777. Sevens, for me, mean that I'm on the right path. So immediately I was like, I'm supposed to be here. Then I was greeted by a salesperson, and I immediately had this like good feeling about him. So he's walking around showing us the cars, and I liked that he was kind of blunt and honest. Like, he kind of threw things out there that you didn't expect him to say. And I took the car that I wanted at CarMax on a test drive, and it was nice, but it was like super out of my price range, because it was like super new and had tons of upgrades. So I continued to walk around the lot, and I noticed this other car, and I knew that I wanted a white car, and I knew that I wanted like cream seats. I see a car like that. So I asked if we can test drive this car. We get in the car, and I'm driving it, and it just feels really good. And I got that feeling that I was looking for, like, and it was very slight, you know, your intuition just whispers to you. It was just like, yes, you know, in my body, it was just like a yes. So I drove this car, come back to the parking lot. We tell the salesperson, you know what? My friend and I are gonna go to lunch and just kind of chat with it. When I came back with the car, the parking spot that was available was the spot right next to my white Honda Accord. So it was funny that they were parallel. And you look at the Honda and you look at the Mercedes, they looked like relatives. And it was like, oh wow, it's like, it's you, but just the upgraded version of you, the more luxurious version of you. That's what my friend said. And I was like, yeah, you're right. And then she literally said, I got a really good feeling when you sat in that car. And I said, me too. And I was like, I think that's the one. And she said, yeah, I felt that too. It felt like your car the moment we sat in it. So we decided to leave the dealership, go to lunch, and kind of just like do more research on that car. And, you know, I called like my dad, and just to kind of make sure, because I know the universe is guiding me in the right direction, but I also want to do my part. So the universe does 50%, you do 50%. You guys are a team, okay? You're human and the divine come as one together, and they work together. So we go home that day. I start looking at more of those cars. I start looking at prices everywhere. I start seeing, okay, is anybody else selling this car, the exact year, the exact model? And then I see that Audi has one at their dealership. The next morning, my mom and I are driving to go to breakfast, and the car in front of us says Audi Henderson in big letters. And that's where the Mercedes I was looking at was. So I took that as a sign. It's like, okay, I'm definitely supposed to go there. There's something there for me. Either it's the car or the next breadcrumb. So my friend and I, the following day, go to Audi Henderson, and we're just like, all right, I'm, open to receive whatever the message is or the new information that I need. So I'm at Audi Henderson. Again, I see like another license plate, a ton of 8s. I see like 3 license plates that say 777, 7777, all kinds of 7s, like I'm on the right path, I'm receiving abundance. We get to Audi, I talk to the salesperson, we go see the Mercedes. Immediately, I notice this car is not in nearly good shape as the other one that I saw. We take it on a drive, it sounds like it's about to break down. And I, look at everything, I see that like the wood is chipped, there's like a dent here, and then, we check the Carfax, it's been in 2 accidents. And I'm talking to the guy at Audi. Obviously, he's like trying to sell me other cars, and I kind of like wanted to amuse him a little bit, because at that point I knew that that wasn't the car, but I wanted to get some numbers from him so that I have even more of a comparison, and I wanted to see if they would give me even more for my Honda or how low they would drop the price so that I could take that to Mercedes and be like, can you compete with this? He had 3 different Audis that he wanted to show me, and 2 of them sold while I was there, and one of them he couldn't even find. He had the key and they couldn't find it in the parking lot. And then at the very end, he found one which I test drove, and it was awesome, but again, it's like a 2022, super high price, everything, all the packages in it. So that's not, I wasn't getting that. I already knew that that wasn't for me. So in the end, he finally was like, okay, let me get the numbers for you for the Mercedes. And it was so crazy. They wanted the full price. I was like, so even though this car has been in 2 accidents, it's dinged up, it sounds like it's about to break down, the wood is all chipped, it's in bad condition, you're not like jockeying the price down and you're gonna offer me this low of an amount, even though I've shown you that like this is what Mercedes has offered me. And the guy was like I'm literally not meant to sell a car today, like there's nothing more that I can offer you. The message for me was that I was getting a great deal from Mercedes, and that the car that I've gotten is in great, amazing condition, and it has more packages in it than the one at Audi, and I'm getting a way better deal on it. So that was the purpose, and I had to follow the signs and my intuition to find the perfect car and the car the universe wanted me to have. And the cool thing about the universe is that it knows more than you, and it knows what you like and what you want. So if I were to have picked a car for myself, it would have been a Mercedes or a Tesla. And also, this came out of nowhere, okay? I did not even have the money thinking I was gonna get a new car or anything like that. And I ended up trading my car in and getting a check back for money back and getting a new, beautiful car. And this was unexpected. So that's just what happens when you stay open and you're paying attention to signs and synchronicities and tuning into your intuition. It guides you towards the next step, and there's surprises and abundance and so many beautiful things. The right books, the right teachers. I mean, this was just in general connected to my body. So I have the car. I love my car. It's so beautiful, and when I sit in it, I feel so happy and grateful, and it just makes me feel like, wow, you worked on yourself internally, and you've started to change who you are for the better. And look at how the universe has just gifted you with this abundance, this unexpected abundance. Absolutely incredible. And this stuff happens all the time. I can't tell you what I'm gonna be doing in a month or in 3 months, because my life is always so much in the unknown, because I'm just following the next breadcrumb, listening to the universe and the messages, the signs, the synchronicities, and the guidance. I end up doing all these amazing things, and I don't you know, they just come out of nowhere. All I do is I meditate, I feel grateful, I feel love, I feel joyful, I feel feelings that I want to feel in the life that I'm manifesting, and I don't pick and choose what it is because I let this divine intelligence, this love, God, universe, do it for me. It's like, you figure it out. This is how I want to feel. You figure it out, okay? Send me signs, synchronicities to guide me and show me the breadcrumbs of what you're leading me to. And anybody can have this connection. It brings you so much peace not to have to make these big or scary decisions alone. And there's so many surprises along the way, like so many positive things that come to you when you just learn to trust and to surrender to this energy. Oh my God, I got stuff all over me. Something that happened that was really significant 3 days before I got the letter from Honda was that I had a deep healing of something that I didn't fully realize was there in my body. And when I had this healing, that was the upgrade that was able to get me to this next level, to this new body, this new life, this new reality. So for a few days, I could not create a YouTube video. I would write down ideas, I would think of ideas, and when it came time to make the video, I couldn't make it. Like everything in my body was resistant to it. Then it was like every time I would think about YouTube or say the word YouTube, I would start crying. So I asked the universe, I was like, what is happening? Like what is blocking me from making this video? Because at that point, it was like I knew that it was something in my subconscious, something within me that was like making me not able to make a video. Because I kept trying and crying about it and being so upset. I'm like, why can't I do this? Why can't I just turn on the camera and like say something? And I couldn't. So I asked the universe and I'm waiting for a response. As I'm waiting for the response, I'm moping in my bed. I'm on YouTube. This girl's video pops up about her ayahuasca, her first time doing ayahuasca. It kind of resonated with me because she was saying like, oh, I've always believed that like you can heal yourself. You don't need to take these plants or these drugs to like help yourself get there. And then she said now she feels differently because of her experience. And she talked about her experience. And one of the first things she said was on the first night that she did this ayahuasca is that it showed her different moments in her childhood where she felt like she had been rejected by somebody. Part of that like resonated with me, but I wasn't fully conscious of it. I just remember finding that video super fascinating and interesting. I wonder if I take a microdose, if I'll have any like revelations about this, you know, maybe that will help. So I grab a microdose and I put one in my hand. This is what I do when I take them is I ask my body if it wants it and it'll give me a clear yes if it's a yes. It gives me like a if it's like I don't care, and it gives me a no when it's a no. And it doesn't like something because I'll feel like prickles, like it won't feel good. But if it's a yes, it'll feel really good. It'll feel like I'm holding like magic in my hands. It feels so pure. And that's the feeling I got. And I was actually surprised because it was like later in the day. So I took it and then I didn't feel anything, which it's a microdose, so sometimes you don't. And I forgot that I took it. So a few hours later, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to bed early and try to wake up early. And then I'm laying there and I just shoot straight up and the realization hits me. And I started to go back to moments in my childhood where I was bullied and made to feel like it wasn't okay to be me. So, you know, it went back to like kindergarten, and I had moved to America from Morocco and I didn't speak English. So all the kids would run away from me and, you know, not make me feel included and kind of make me feel like a freak. And then when I'd bring Moroccan food to school in elementary school, or like my Nutella sandwiches, people would be like, is that poop? Or that's disgusting. And then in middle school, which was the worst, sometimes people would make fun of me, people would be mean to me, people would ask me why I was so hairy, why I didn't do my hair, why I didn't wear clothes like this. They'd make me feel like they didn't want me sitting at their table with them, all kinds of things. I had that locked away from myself. That was a part of my life I realized I didn't want to remember because I found it to be so painful, because I was just made to feel terrible for existing, for just being who I was and what I looked like. And that made me hate myself. So most of these people are my friends now. So like kids are mean, they don't know any better, but it was a rough experience to go through. I had been kind of hiding that part of myself away. I didn't want to acknowledge it. Like if anybody asked me if I was bullied or got made fun of in school, I would say no, but that was not the truth. That was far from the truth. And I didn't even realize that I was lying to myself because I just blocked it out of my mind until the night where I was laying there and I took the microdose and it all came back to me. And I like saw specific moments and felt specific things. And I realized, wow, even if this happened to me as an adult or like at work, I would go home crying. Like that was hard. This little girl within me needed to be acknowledged and didn't want to be ignored anymore and wanted to feel safe to be herself. So I had to acknowledge her, you know, feel her pain and cry. And I cried, okay? That's how you release things. Sometimes you have to like sink into them and let yourself feel them and cry to release it. I let myself feel it and I let myself cry. And then I said, okay, I'm gonna let the divine take her. She is this hurt person that doesn't feel safe to be herself, that constantly feels rejected, is no longer me, I'm not gonna take this person along with me for the rest of my life. I'm not gonna carry that with me anymore. I handed her over to the divine, let them do their thing, let myself cry, and then I felt lighter, which I've always known, but it wasn't like I wasn't fully conscious of it, you know? So I realized that doing YouTube is one of my worst fears because I'm putting myself out there and people can judge me and reject me. And I'm sharing things that I actually really care about. Like I'm not pretending. So this is who I truly am. So I'm giving people the ability to get to know me on a deep level and to sit there and say, I don't like you, you're not good enough, what's wrong with you? And that was my big revelation about why I was unable to make these videos, because this part of myself was bubbling to the surface and needed to be seen. And it was something that I needed to heal and kind of move through. So at the end of seeing all the moments, crying and having these realizations, an affirmation also popped into my mind, and it was like, I fully love and accept myself and I no longer care what other people think of me. It felt so relieving, honestly. And getting rid of that, I've had that. I'm 31 years old. That has been in my body since I was a little girl. That's exhausting. I realized that growing up, I wanted to be perfect. I wanted to, you know, be accepted by people, and I would try so hard to wear things that were acceptable, to do my hair in ways that were acceptable, that people liked, that people found pleasing for other people, because I was so afraid of feeling the way I used to when I was little. And like being accepted felt so much better than feeling like everything was wrong with you and everybody was telling you everything was wrong with you. So I have come to peace with myself. I'm sure it's still a work in progress, but I just feel so much lighter. I feel like I care way less, and now I'm able to make a video. Holy moly. But that was a huge realization, and then that was the realization that led me to see the fleur-de-lis and allowed me to get this new car, this new body. Isn't it amazing how so many things are connected like that? Like, so connected. Something else that happened during the week of kind of looking for the car and getting the car was that I went to the gym, and in a video that I made a couple weeks ago, I was talking about habits and how I wanted to add exercise into my habits. And first I was just walking on the treadmill, because I did have COVID about a month ago, and I just have not been able to get like all the air into my lungs. So I was taking it slow. And then I was finally like, all right, let's bring some big daddy weights in. Let's like really get this exercise going. I did that, and the next day I woke up and my back was like completely thrown out, like my upper back. It hurt to breathe, it hurt to swallow food. It felt like I was gonna have like a heart attack, but it was like coming from my back and piercing through my spine to the front of my chest. Like everything just felt out of place. Like I don't know if it was from the gym or like sleeping wrong in bed, but I felt terrible. Every single time I have tried to get back into shape, this whole last year, something has happened to get in my way. I started working out right before I got COVID, and then I couldn't because I had COVID. I tried to work out right after I had COVID, and then I couldn't because my lungs were literally burning and on fire. I swear every single time I've tried to work out within the last year, something would happen and I wouldn't be able to continue. So I decided to ask, I'm like, okay, universe, this is not, like, this has caught my attention. Something is going on. What is happening within me that is not allowing me to work out? Like, what is stopping me from having this body of my dreams. And this is a separate story, but in the past, I've talked to my higher self, like literally about almost 10 years ago, and it told me, if I want to love myself, I need to go to the gym. Like that for me is a huge gateway to self-love. And I know this because I need a routine, I need to be eating the right foods, I need to be connecting with my body and doing things correctly, but I've never been able to do it. And because I'm becoming this new person, I'm like, okay, it's time. We're ready to start doing this with my body, but I have not been allowed to. I've always been shut down. So I finally ask, and later that day I go on a drive to the bank, and for the first time I notice like it says spine and physical therapy. And I'm like, oh, never noticed that before. Then I'm like on my way home and I notice another physical therapy place. And I was like, why am I noticing physical therapy places? And I know that when I notice something, especially if I go the same way and I haven't noticed it before, that it's a message for me. And I realized like, oh, I'm supposed to go to physical therapy. Like I know that I have some curves and some twists in my spine. And a few months ago, the signs led me to a chiropractor. And this chiropractor said, it looks like something happened for your spine to be this way. It doesn't look like something that would naturally just occur. And I was like, I don't know. I fell out of the shower once. I did gymnastics. I carried something that was like way too heavy for my body when I was in middle school, my backpack. So I don't know where the damage came from. And I realized this time it wasn't my subconscious mind that was blocking me. It was the universe protecting me and saying, hey, you cannot be doing these types of workouts because it's gonna damage what's going on in your spine, in your back. And we are now giving you the message that you need to go see a physical therapist to take a look at this and to gain muscle correctly so that you can, have this new body and just do it correctly, do it safely. Because who knows, maybe I would have gone to the gym and like built muscle and everything would have been kind of like off and crooked and made it worse, or maybe I would have hurt myself in some way that would have affected me forever. I don't know, but all I know is that I was blocked from this. And now I'm given the doorway and the why. So now it's up to my human self, since, I asked, the universe responded, and now I have to take the initiative and call a physical therapy place and, let them know what's going on. So that's what my next adventure is. Anyways, let me put one more coat of mascara on. So I just want you guys to know that talking to the universe is a lot deeper than just seeing repeating numbers. Like if you're seeing repeating numbers, that is the universe talking to you. And look up what those repeating numbers mean and find a sentence, a word, the part that resonates with you. So that means, what part of the definition did you read that you can't stop thinking about? Like what part of that was like, yeah, I think it's that. It's like, it's a whole language. I know what every single number means to me. So when I see them, like I know exactly what the universe is telling me, and it like literally is talking to me all day long. And it's the numbers, it's the billboards, it's the letters from Honda. It's me talking to it and asking, how do I do this? What's blocking me from this? Show me the answers. And then I pay attention to what is coming my way. Now that I have this new body, I went on a walk with my friend and we were talking about connecting to our bodies more deeply and even our sexual energy more deeply, and that maybe we haven't always been super comfortable with it. And just having that conversation, something clicked. And I was like, oh, my body is saying yes, yes, yes. Like, let's look into this. Let's tune into the body more. So it's really cool. I feel like I follow the signs. It's saying I have a new body, I'm a new me, and it's allowing my body to grow and to heal in a way that it's supposed to. And I feel this intuitive desire to connect with my body. Like, it's really cool how I can put a microdose in the palm of my hand and my hand will tell me yes or no. Your body is so intelligent and it speaks to you. So I've always kind of ignored it, kind of not treated it so well, haven't given it the love that it deserves. Now I feel like I'm ready to do that. And I did create some habits where I've been meditating, doing affirmation, a lot of self-love affirmations and gratitude. And I've even recently added like looking in the mirror, and I look into my eyes and I like, especially after doing meditation, I see like my God self in my eyes and I tell myself how much I love myself. And I've been playing music, and it's like music that makes me super happy and grateful, and I'll like lock myself in my bathroom and I'll just like give myself hugs and love, and I'll look at myself and tell myself like I'm beautiful, I'm amazing. I even like literally, I just like let it happen. I was like kissing myself and kissing my hands, and I was just, you're amazing, just telling my body, telling myself this. And I really feel like something is happening within me, like something big. So yeah, talk to yourself, talk to the universe, you have this huge support system that's with you. Don't be afraid to use it. You should be using it. It's guiding you towards the best life, to your best life, to the best life that you can't even imagine having, okay? You don't need to think about it. Just follow your intuition, learn how to follow it. Look for the signs, pay attention to what's catching your attention. That's how it's done. If like a certain animal keeps crossing your path, look it up. Butterfly, spirit animal. That means you're transforming. Over time, you learn this language. So I've been doing this for 7 years. I'm really good at it. Like, I'm not gonna lie. But it started off with small things. What does this number mean? Oh, somebody gave me a flower. Every single time I receive a flower, I have an amazing day. Okay, flowers mean I'm gonna have an amazing day when I receive flowers. Oh, I saw an owl and I found out somebody was lying to me. Every single time I see owls, they mean somebody's lying to me. Like they'll literally come even visit me in my dreams if somebody is lying to me to tell me that that person is like hiding something from me or is not being like authentic with me. It's just a learning process. Start off with one thing. Maybe start off with, if you see a lot of repeating numbers, look up what the repeating numbers means. It can be overwhelming with the definitions, but just take what resonates with you. I'll do a quick little thing. Like ones usually mean you're going through a doorway. Like you're manifesting something new is coming into your life and you're going through a doorway. Twos for me is stay positive, okay? Just stay positive. Threes are your angels, your guides are with you. Fours are all is well. 5 is that you're going through a transformation. 6 is like, there might be a few bumps in the road that you're not expecting, you know, like not the best energy. 7 is you're on the right path. 8 is that abundance is on its way. 9 is that something is ending so that something new can begin. And there's different combos for these. Like when I see 7, 4, 3, I'm like, oh my God, I'm on the right path, all is well, and my angels and guides are with me. Perfect. So that's like my little combo that the universe has with me. So I'll like see that combination of numbers and I'm like, oh, I'm just doing so well right now. So well. They're so proud of me. And the universe is your biggest like teammate, like your best friend, the parent you wish you had. It's incredible. Just like connect with this force. You don't have to meditate to connect with it, but meditation is amazing for you. So you should meditate. Talk to it in your car, talk to it in the shower, ask it questions. If you want to know something, what's blocking me from this, just say out loud, universe, guides, God, whatever you talk to. What is this? Ask yourself, look yourself in the eye. What is it that's blocking me from this? What do I need to see? What is the next step in my life? It's always gonna be responding, and it knows what you're capable of. You know, your human self is gonna be like, oh no, I'm too scared. I don't know if I can do that. It's gonna make you level up. So for me, doing this YouTube thing, it has been scary for me. Maybe it doesn't seem like it on camera, but you know, there's definitely moments where I'm like, maybe I'm not good enough, or maybe I'm not gonna make it, or you know, just negative thinking. And the universe is like, nope, you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it. We're gonna bring up the fears that you have about it. You're gonna look at them, you're gonna let them go, and we're gonna continue. And I'm dedicated to that journey because, you know, that's what I'm here to do. That's why I'm on earth. Like, why did I come here? This is why. I gotta do my eyebrow. I'm like, I can't talk and do my eyebrow. Okay, this is just like, it's not like a super glam. It's like more of a natural. It's just like a natural little everyday look. I can't talk while I do the lips because like, you know. Also, here's a tip if you care. I don't like it when my mouth looks like it's frowning. So I line my lips to where it goes upwards and then it kind of makes it look like I'm like smirking or smiling. Makes me look more pleasant, like very slight. Do you see the difference? Oh my God, I'm smoking. And then this stuff smells so good. It like smells like creme brulee. It's so good. And then I put some gloss. Honestly, I think I'm gonna make another video talking about something else while I do my hair. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know if you have any questions down below in the comments, and let me know if you wanna know more. What videos do you guys wanna see from me? Let me know, okay? Because I'm trying to deliver. I love you guys. Live your best life. Follow the signs and the synchronicities. They are guiding you to your highest timeline, and I'll see you next time.